so percent of change. This is like one of my favorite lessons every year. So first off, what percent is the original amount equal to? So if you have 50 items, that equals 100%. Now, the reason why it's 100% is because 100%, if you change it to a number, you start here and you have to move it over 2 places, turns into the number 1. And if we have 50 times 1, you still have 50 items. So, anytime you have a starting amount, that is always equal to 100% of your original amount. Then when you increase or decrease things, you have to add or subtract it to that 100% to find out the new percentage. And we'll talk about that later. Now, one of the other questions that comes up is, what is the formula for change in percent? And if I ask you guys right now, what is the formula? Most of you guys are saying no. And I'm going to tell you exactly. And you're going to go, huh? And I'm going to go, well, it's new minus original. And then you're going to go, oh. And you're like, yep, that's the second part. So the change in percent formula is the new minus the original amount divided by the original amount. And we'll get into how to use this. But in short terms, the equation is no, new minus original divided by original. So when I ask you what the formula is and you go no, and I say exactly, you go, oh, because it's new minus the original divided by the original. So if Dennis grabs 40% of his team's 50 rebounds, how many rebounds did he grab? And how many rebounds did his teammates grab? Well, this is similar to what you guys had to do last year. So what we want to do is we want to find 40% of 50. So what we have to do then is we have to move this 2 places, turns it into 0.4 of is multiplication 50. And so 40% of 50 is 50 times 0.4, 0, 20. We have one number here, so we move it over 1 spot. And so 40% of 50 is 20 rebounds. And that means his teammates will get 50 minus 20 is 30 rebounds. So this individual would have got 20 rebounds and his teammates would have got 30 rebounds for everyone else in the basketball team. Bonus points for those that may know who I'm talking about when I talk about Dennis and rebounds. Next up, if a family used 300 gallons of their 500 gallons of heating oil, what is the change in percent of the amount of heating oil left? Well, this goes back to the formula. Do you remember what it is? No, O. So the new amount is the 300. The original amount is the 500. And so we'll color code it here for us. And so what we're going to do then is do 300 minus 500 divided by 500. Now 300 minus 500 is a negative 200 divided by 500. And then if you use a calculator, this will give you a negative 0.4. And then if you take that and move it 2 places and turn it back into a decimal, 1 or percent, 2, you get a negative 40%, which means you've used your overall amount left is 40% less than what it used to be. Now, if the new amount increases from the original, then it would be a positive. But if your new amount decreases from the original amount, it's not increasing but it's going down, then it will give you a negative change in percent. So we've lost 40%, or we've used 40% of our heating oil. The price of a mask increased by 150% since the beginning of the year, as one of the masks now costs $5. How much did the mask cost at the beginning of the year? So the original amount is unknown. The new amount is $5. So the original times 1 plus the change in percent will equal the new. And so this is your formula to figure this out. So what we want to do is plug in what we know. So the original is an unknown, so we'll just use M for the mask, times 1 plus, in this case, 1.5 equals new. Now, why are we using 1.5? Because 150% as a decimal means we have to move it over 2 places, and that gives us 1.5. And this 1 is actually equaling 100%. So if we take the 100 plus the 150, 100 plus 150, that gives you 250%. And if we change that to a decimal, boom, boom, it gives us 2.5. And so our mask times 2.5 equals $5. Now, to figure out what the original mask price was, we now, since we're multiplying, we have to divide both sides by 2.5. So if you take a calculator and divide that, you find that the mask will equal $2. So the original price was $2. Now, you can go back and double check all this by applying the original formula, new minus original over original, and that will give you 5 minus 2 over 2, which gives you 3 over 2, which is 1.5. And then if you move this decimal place over 2 to change it into a decimal, it gives you 150%, which is the mask increase. So these are probably some of the harder problems you'll come across when you're working with percents. And it's not something that we talk a lot about, but it's good arithmetic in figuring these type of things out. So if the new price is 5 and it increased 150%, then that means the original mask only cost you $2 at the beginning of the year. Finally, the price of gas is now $1.65 a gallon. This is a decrease of $75. What is the old price of gas? So first, cross off the went here because that makes no grammatical sense. And so this is similar to what we just talked about. So the new price is $1.65. We want to find out the old or the original price, which is an unknown again. This time the decrease was 75%. So the price is not increasing, it's decreasing. So once again, we'll call G for the original amount times 1 plus, in this case, a negative 75%. So why is it a negative 75%? Because the price is going down. And the new amount is $1.65. So now, to find out the old price, 1 plus a negative 0.75 is actually 0.25 equals $1.65. And because we're multiplying there, we have to divide by 0.25, divide by 0.25. And so gas would have cost you the astronomical price of $6.60. So percents can be a little confusing. Try these. If you're struggling a little bit, that's okay. But I just want you to try them and see how you guys do. The main ones I really want you guys to focus on, of course, are the no O problems, but these are all good problems in real life to look at and to figure out. This week in class, we're going to talk a lot about percents and change of percents and how it applies to you in everyday life. And some real life examples of huge price change or huge changes of percents that happen throughout history when it comes to values of monies and stuff. So thank you. I look forward to showing you guys some great examples this week, and see you this week. Have a nice day.